Welcome everybody to Loretta Talks channel, where you get to manifest with me, Lee. And today we are still talking on the concept of manifestation, where I share manifestation tips according to my experience. And today I want to touch on affirmations, right? Do affirmations work? And if they do work, how long does it take before I see the results in the 3D? Guys, I'm here to just burst a bubble for you a bit, okay? Affirmations do work. Affirmations do work, and because they are assumptions that you have created. Okay, they are the results of your assumptions, or they are the exact assumptions that you have created, because they are thoughts that are what? That are reflected through words or through your inner conversations with yourself, or whatever the case may be, right? Whatever that you assume about your situation is basically an affirmation. Okay, so here's how you get to number one: create an affirmation. Because some people are doubting, am I doing this correctly? Is this affirmation correct? Yes, it is correct, right? Let me tell you why before I even know if your affirmation is correct. It's a direct thought. It's a direct thought. So if I am sitting here looking at this pen, right, and I am already thinking, I don't like this pen, that's an affirmation. Whatever my thought is about the pen is an affirmation. Now here you are talking about your SP, right? You want to manifest your SP. You want to manifest money. You want to manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest. You have thoughts about it. And when you are intentionally following the law of assumption, if you've ever had a negative concept about whatever it is that you're trying to intentionally manifest now, it means that by following or by being part of the law of assumption journey community, you are saying that I want to erase the negative and replace it with the positive, so that I can see positive results manifest in my reality. Now, it starts very clearly, like, you're going to think about what you want. Obviously, that's the natural process. You start by thinking about, okay, I want to manifest my SP. Whether it's a woman or a man or whatever, I want to manifest my SP. Maybe some of you already know who that person is. Some of you do not know who the person is. But let's say you know who the person is, right? And you're going to, first of all, observe everything that is happening between you and that person, and you manifesting that particular person, right? Maybe let's say in reality right now, the current situation is that that person is in a relationship, that person is away from you, distance, miles and miles away. That person, y'all broke up, that's your ex, they've moved on. Anything that looks like it's difficult for that person to come to you, right? You're thinking about everything. That's what you have in mind. Now that is the reality versus what you want. So you already know. That's step number one. You're looking at everything else from the natural eye. So then you decide, oh, but I still want this person. How am I going to move from here to here? From this person being in that situation to them being a part of my life and being mine. Your thoughts about them are going to have to change. Your thoughts about relationships and blocks are going to have to change. A lot of us here are struggling with being bullied by the 3D. I call it bullying by the 3D. Why? Because you are looking at something with the natural eye and you're deciding that's just how it is. If that's the case, maybe you don't want to desire as much as you do. Maybe you don't want to go through the process of having to think a situation out from point A to point B. Right? Maybe you don't want to be upset. You are fine with that. You are fine with not having your SP because you think that they are with someone else, and them being with someone else is impossible for you to get. And if that's how you're going to think, you're going to struggle. Or you just have to give up then. Just give up. Because if that's the way you think, and it's enough to get you to give up on your desire, it means you're not ready to put in the work. And the only work that you have to do is the one where you have to impress the subconscious mind with repetition of what? Of the affirmations about the new story. That's all you have to do. And so we like to look at things and look at the situation that your SP is currently in. But my SP said they don't like me. Who cares what they think? Who cares what they think? That's not how they're going to show up in our world. You tell me in his world he doesn't care what I think, but how you gonna show up in my world, you are gonna care what I think. So how are we gonna make sure that he cares or she cares about what we think? We're gonna affirm that they do. We don't respond to versions of them that do not care how we think. We respond to versions of them that we created to say, this person cares about what I think. Okay, it wasn't long up until I had to decide that I shouldn't respond to versions of my partner or my SP that does not align with what I'm creating currently, what I'm affirming for, right? What I'm impressing on my subconscious mind about him or her, right? So I had to change. I'm like, you know what, whether or not I get no movement, whether or not I get a response, whether or not something happens or whatever, I'm only responding to the version of my SP that likes me, that's into me, that shows me love and affection, and that's it. I'm not going to entertain the version of him that I don't have, or the version of him that shows me no respect. So that's another thing about you starting to doubt your affirmations because you're looking at the 3D. You're looking at the situation that your SP is in, and you're allowing that to dictate to you that you can't have your SP because they're in a relationship. But that's not your business. That's not your business whether they're in a relationship or not, or whether they said they don't like you or not, or whether they're working in another city or not. That's not your business. Your business is to affirm for what you want. I'm sounding a little bit harsh today because I don't want you to give up on what you want just because something in the 3D is telling you something. It's telling you that you can't have what you want because the world, society, tells us that when something is like this, you can't have it. It's a block. There are no blocks. The only blocks that we have are the ones that exist, that we create in our minds that, okay, I can't have this because of that. You've already given yourself a reason why you can't have that. Gotta get you in check a little bit today. So you want who you want, or you want whatever it is that you want, whether it's a person or a thing, I don't care. But the minute you give yourself a reason that you see with your natural eye to say, but I can't, this is stopping me from getting my desire, my SP. It's either you're going to look at that situation as something that indicates to you where you should continue persisting in, or you're going to look at it as something that's stopping you from getting what you want. And if you're looking at it as something that's stopping you from getting what you want, then quit. And you know what happens when you quit? You're quitting on what you want. So that means you are automatically going to get the latter. Automatically going to get what you don't want, which is you not having your SP. If you're fine with it, then it's fine. Then quit on this particular person. If you want to start again, if you realize that during this journey, you now want something else, or you want someone else, then it's fine. Start affirming for someone new. If it gets too much and then you feel like I want to give up, then affirm for something new. Affirm for something new, but you better make sure that when you're affirming for something new, your thoughts, your beliefs about love and relationships as well, you are changing them as well. You know, what I want to tell you is that you can affirm for different things at the same time. You can. And one of the things that I would like you guys to affirm for, as much as you're affirming for your SP, is your self-concept as well. Work on your self-concept. Work on your concept when it comes to love. What are your beliefs when it comes to love? Right? So that's what I did when I was affirming for my SP. I realized that I also need to affirm for myself as well, my self-concept, because remember, I used to say in previous videos that I wasn't the most confident person. I used to think the worst about myself. So it was important for me that whenever I'm not really thinking about my SP, because I wasn't like thinking about him 24/7, but when a thought of him comes to mind, then I'll affirm for him and whatnot. But then when I'm doing other things, there are other things that matter in my life as well, like my job and all the other stuff, my family, things are happening in my life that I'm affirming for as well. I needed to watch how I think about everything that's going on in my life, right? So again, one of the most important things was my self-concept. I'm important. I'm more important than my SP. That's a fact. And I needed to make sure that I take care of myself. Like, I'm special. I'm important to myself. I treat myself the right way. I operate from a place of abundance when it comes to me. I believe the best about myself. I needed to change thoughts about myself that were negative, so that when my SP comes, I am my subconscious is also improved, so that I will not be I would not allow myself to be treated in whatever way, shape, or form. I'd be able to stand up for myself, right? So, guys, I wanted to just like answer that question to say affirmations do work, but you have to be decided, all right? You have to be decided about what it is that you want. And then you got to look at it from the eye. Obviously, when you are first deciding if this is what it truly want, everything around it, you write it down like, okay, currently with what I want, this is the situation. This person is in this situation, A, B, and C is far from me, so that has to change. So that means that I have to create an affirmation that affirms, that implies that this person is now with me. So if you have a person in a long distance relationship, obviously the affirmation is that maybe you want them to be closer. So you will affirm something that implies that you guys are together, like my SP and I are always together, right? And if maybe you are affirming that someone that you want is in a relationship with someone else and you want your SP to be yours, you'll have to affirm something like, I'm the only person in my SP's life. There's only me and no one else, right? So it really, you have to look at the reality, the current reality, and then decide, what do you want? What changes do you want to see? If you want to get from A to B, what must happen for you to get to B? You're going to have to change the story. How do I change the story? I change the story by creating the affirmation that I now have what I want. And from this, I'm moving from situation A to situation B by simply just assuming that it has happened and persisting on that and making sure that every single time I get triggered, I use the trigger as an indication that I need to continue persisting. You're asking me, how long should I affirm? You affirm until you see it, right? Is it okay for you to sit back and be like, okay, I'm tired? Yeah, it's fine. Sometimes you don't feel like affirm. Don't affirm then. It will come naturally. Like I always say, affirm whenever you think about your desire. You don't have to affirm 24/7 like a robot, unless you want to. I've done that before, and I just go according to how I feel. If I feel like affirming for my partner, I affirm for me. If I feel triggered and I feel like affirming is going to get me to calm down, I affirm. Really, it's really about you. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt your power. You've got this, okay? You have to make sure that you stay disciplined and that what you want is what you want. And again, you are allowed to change your mind, guys. You are allowed to change your mind. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And guys, I will see you on the other side of consistency in the next video. Bye-bye.